This video will serve to show you the insides of the ULTRA VP, today's most advanced commercially available virtual pinball machine, primarily because it has the largest 4K LG industrial monitor. So it's a 49-inch. Our competitors, they all work off of 42 or 43-inch monitors, and they use TVs. So as you can see, the back of the monitor here is made of a metal casing, and it's not a standard plastic backing like most TVs would have. So that's one of the first aspects of this machine that will stick out. The other thing that you will notice here is that with that monitor, we provide a remote control. That remote control will allow you to adjust your brightness, luminosity, all of these things. That's new in version 3.0 that is displayed here. Another thing you will notice is that everything inside of the machine is extremely well organized and clean. We use railing systems, as you can see, where all the cabling goes through. Nothing is laying out and unorganized. We also use nothing but Intel-based PCs, high-end modern PCs with NVIDIA graphics cards. So no AMD, none of that maybe our competitors are using. The core of the unit here is a custom PCB board made specifically for us here for the ULTRA VP. It has the Freescale control board, of course, that's responsible for nudging, but then you see all these connections that go all the way to all the force feedback DOF devices, right? So this is what we have as the core of the device. Right here, this little guy is also a manual adjustment for the monitor, for the playfield monitor, in case you want to just reach into the front coin door and make manual adjustments if you lost your remote or whatever. Let's talk about the plunger here. This is a plunger with a digital system. As soon as you pull back on this, it will send a signal to the control board and will display the fact that you are pulling back this plunger on the screen right away. Right here you have your contactors. We have 10 contactors on version 3.0 of our cabinet in total. So 2 over here, 2 on the bottom floor in the middle, 2 on the back side against the walls here, opposite side as well, and then of course we have 2 of them right here on the left side. The front, this one and the one on the opposite side, those are responsible for flipper noise. This is for your slingshot ramps, and then of course the ones on the floor and in the back for all the bumpers and other slingshots that the ball may encounter. Let's talk for a moment about the shaker motor. As you can see, that shaker motor is in the front left side of our cabinet. It's enclosed in an acrylic case just to make sure that nobody reaches in and gets hurt. That shaker motor obviously fires based on gameplay and is definitely very important to provide the force feedback required during gameplay. Right now, right behind the control board, you can see right here, this is our physical tilt bob. You know, you can move it around. You can hear it's actually tilting right now. And you can actually adjust it, as you can see at the bottom. There's a screw, and you can adjust the sensitivity of this. Or there's an on-off switch, and these on-off switches are underneath the belly of the cabinet in the front. Here's the entire row. Let me show you. Right here, this entire section right there, you have 5 different on-off switches, and these on-off switches are responsible for switching on and off a variety of DOF devices. Let's talk about the flipper buttons. The primary button, this one right here, the one in red, that one is a micro leaf switch button, which is it's mounted on a bracket, and it is faster responding than a normal button would be. As you can see here, this is the micro switch. We do that on purpose so that there's no delay when you use the flipper buttons. The secondary one, the blue one, that one is your MagnaSave button or your fire button, anything that is a secondary function during gameplay. The coin door here actually is a real coin door. It can accept coins, a variety of different currencies, and you have a box on the bottom that can receive the coins when they fall in, so they don't lay all over the place. Let's talk about sound. This unit has a 7.1 surround sound system, and as you can see, there are 3 amplifiers right here. This is the first one, that's the 2.1 sound system, and then you have your secondary and the third, and those are responsible for the side speakers that are mounted on the walls. Those side speakers that you can see right here, right behind that orange cable, right here, this is actually called a transducer, also known as an exciter speaker. We have 4 of those, 2 on each side in the front, 2 in the back, and like I said, they are running off of those secondary amplifiers. And we also have similar transducers that you can't see. They're kind of hidden underneath the flooring of the coin box, and that's a bass kicker transducer that will give you the feeling that the ball is actually draining, and a lot of other feedback noises that are happening in the front of your cabinet. Here's the one of the transducers that you see over there in the back. This one, that's the one of the 2 that are mounted on the back side of the walls. It is important to understand that what we do is we don't choose between sound, between the transducers and the standard sound system. We actually also have a subwoofer, a very high impact subwoofer built into the floor of our cabinet right underneath the computer, but it's completely encased. As you can see, there is a box that was made for that subwoofer so that the vibrations of the subwoofer do not emanate and affect the components inside of the ULTRA VP. All right, so this is the bottom of our ULTRA VP. You can see those on-off switches. You can see the soft shutdown button, and you can see your primary on-off switch in the front. You have the peripheral with the LED strip that's game controlled. And by the way, that LED strip is extended to the back of the cabinet on the back box as well, so that these they're game activated, so they will change colors and flash depending on gameplay, not just underneath the cabinet, but also behind the cabinet against your wall. So let me show you that subwoofer I was talking about that we have mounted right into the bottom of our cabinet. It's bottom firing, unlike some of our competitors who just use a standard Logitech subwoofer that fires inside of the machine, inside of the box. You will get the full effect the way it should be by it firing downwards. The soft shutdown button is super important so that you don't hard shut down your machine all the time. When you push this button right here, it will shut down Windows 10 Professionals nice and slow, like you would normally if you had a PC. And then once you've given it about 5 to 10 seconds, then you can come here and use your hand and hit the hard shutdown button to switch it completely off. Now let's talk about these additional buttons here that we have that are allowing us to switch off individual functions. So we have 5 of those, and the primary one here, the first one says rumble, as you can see, and rumble is going to allow us to switch off all the contactors at once. So you will not have the force feedback coming off the contactors. The one that says shaker motor, that one, it's clear what that is for. The shaker motor will be turned off. LED strips, if you don't want the LED strips underneath or behind the cabinet, that's another option. An important one is the flashers. I'll show you the flashers in a second, which are mounted above the playfield, and they add a dimension of lighting and light feedback that is really awesome. That's not usually found on mechanical units, and this is important to shut off if you have anyone that's epileptic in the family and may be susceptible to flashes. And then last but not least, the tilt bob that I mentioned. Here are those flashers I mentioned. Those are above the playfield. On the version 3.0 of our cabinet, we have 5 color flashers. And again, you can switch those off if you don't like them. But personally, I love to have that feedback, and it's, again, they're game controlled. You can see the flashers in the back of the cabinet right here. These little modules that are mounted. There are 5 of those. We give you a free one, a replacement one, with the purchase of the cabinet. and but we do not anticipate many of those to go bad. As you can see, the back of our cabinet is has the LED strip, as I mentioned, that's extended from underneath the cabinet, and those colors change according to the table and gameplay. So this is unique to us, to the Ultra VP, and it adds more ambiance to when you're gaming, because even the wall will be glowing various colors. The power cord is always in the back here, so you will not have to worry about that. There's an on-off switch that you probably will always leave in the on position, so no need to switch that one on and off, because you have the one in the front. On the inside of the door, we have two fans that are blowing air out of the cabinet. Very important for airflow. So air comes through the floor, the grills of our cabinet, and then flows out and is being pushed out through here. The Intel PC is encased, not sitting out freely, and on a pull-out tray, as you can see here. So when you disconnect these cables that are nicely marked, by the way, with different types, with the labels, once you unplug this, you can pull this out completely and get to your PC in case you need to replace the SSD drive or any components on the PC. So the top of the cabinet, also known as the back box, features two, again, industrial monitors. We do not use standard TVs. The bottom one here is your DMD full color screen. It's an IPS screen, so that gives you better viewing angle, and it's the highest quality you can purchase. And then here, this guy here is a 32-inch 1080p display, also industrial strength and very bright. And last but not least, we have the topper monitor as an option here that you can see, this bad boy, encased in a custom-made case. And the controls for that are mounted right behind the 32-inch screen. So this is easy to adjust. Right here, you can see that strip. And of course, this is a control board. This DMD, the topper monitor is going to be, again, activated on some tables that require it. We also have on-off switches here for the sirens, what they call sirens, also police beacons, in case you opted for that option. And we have a knocker that is mounted right here, up here. And that's a real mechanical knocker that you can also switch on and off if you want to. As you can see on the Intel PC, we have a heavy-duty heat fan with an LED light on it. The NVIDIA card is a 2060 Super NVIDIA card at this stage. That's the high performance edition, and it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So there's no way any of this is going to slow down or delay or have any kind of lag when you play virtual pinball. One last thing I forgot to mention. We were talking about the shaker motor. Well, we have a special knob here built in. You can see this one here, right here. That knob is actually going to allow you to adjust the intensity of that shaker motor real easily, but just opening up your coin door, and then reaching in to the left. The two buttons that are on top, the red and blue buttons, one of them is responsible for adjusting the viewing angle on Pinball FX tables. The other one is used for programming purposes of the software on this machine. All right, so that takes care of the overview of our 3.0 edition of the Ultra VP. We appreciate you watching this. If you have any questions, as usual, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.